Hey everyone, we're here to talk about your week 3 feedback. Also, happy midway through the semester. Keep up the hard work. I hope you will, and I look forward to any future assignments you turn in that I can review. But let's dive right into it. So let's go over each assignment you had in week 3 and some feedback I have for you. So starting with verbal communication, I hope you learned a lot. I hope you really kind of took in the power of language and the choices that you have when choosing your language and how to adapt that language to be better understood. So that's all I have as my opening statement. It's a very powerful, language is man-made and we always have a choice. And I think it's important to exercise that in a responsible manner. Great slang. Some of the slang I knew, some of them I didn't know, but I learned. So just a few, 3 popular examples I saw was low-key, which kind of is defined by kind of, like I low-key kind of want that sandwich. Snatch, so looking good, more in like a fashion way, like that dress looks snatched on you. And then tea, so spilling the tea, which means like sharing a story. Usually like a juicy story, so like girl spill that tea. All of those are always fun. I saw them a few times, so great slang. Slang definitely is cultural and can be very hard for non-native speakers when you're learning a language, any language, to adapt so quickly to slang because it's like always evolving. And then slang is also generational. So depending on what generation you were in, you'll realize that your high school years in slang is very much different than these high school years and the slang that they use. And so it can be a lot when you're trying to learn, but I always find it very fun and interesting on how language can just like be created continuously. Or adapting in its definitions. So hopefully you had a fun time kind of thinking about what you use every day as a slang word. So going on to the bigger question. So the retelling of criticism in a more constructively, that was the key word, constructively using good communication and language. So thank you very much for all of you who shared your personal, professional stories. It could always be handled more clearly, more professionally, and at the end of the day, it should not be verbally destructive. It should instead be constructive, and you are better for it for learning it now. So when you are in your future, regardless of where that is, you can take it upon yourself to be like, how can I word this more appropriately for them to receive the message instead of just flying off the handle, because that's not going to help anybody, nor you or them. So constructive is the key word here. It's very important that you know how to share feedback in your future to help improve others and as well as yourself. And remember, the language you choose is your choice. So choose better ones and grow. If you're just debating to fight, it's not really going to lead to others listening to you because you're just ranting at that point. Really, everybody, let's call them your audience, is going to shut down. So your point's not getting across, right? So if you want an active audience that is willing to listen to you, you have to improve your communication skills to better reflect and understand and what language choices to use in different situations. That's what it comes down to. I can repeat it time and time again. So another part of this reflection is the communication skills is not bounded by age or generation or anything like that. Communication skills is a skill. It's a skill that needs to be worked on, improved upon, and forever growing and learning. And you are right where you need to be better communicators. But I want to make sure that you know that your age does not hold some sort of maturity when it comes to communication skills. I have spoke to very, very articulate younger generations as well as very inarticulate older generations. So really it's a skill not bound by age. You can be whatever age if you choose to improve this skill. So hopefully where you are in your life, you realize this is my time to really improve upon my communication skills, because it is in fact a skill and you just have to work at it. It's as simple as that. So that's my rant about verbal communication. I know it's a lot, but it's really important because you want to be understood. And I don't think you want to go through life like accidentally or on purpose harassing people with the words that you choose, because what kind of life is that? So always make a conscious decision to be constructive if you need to relay some sort of criticism or feedback, but instead choose your words wisely. Moving on to nonverbal communication. My favorite chapter. It's always so fun. This was definitely the highest graded assignment. All of you did wonderful observing the Hitch video and talking about all the gestures, eye contact, time sequences, the physical appearance, even the posture. All of this matters when it comes to nonverbal communication, because you have to be aware. And hopefully this will bring awareness as you move forward in your life, because nonverbal communication is more easily read than verbal communication. If somebody says they're fine, but they're crossing their arms and avoiding eye contact, would you believe that they're actually fine? Probably not. But verbally, they have said they are fine. So nonverbal communication is very much more telling than verbal communication. It's very important. It's also very cultural. So the nonverbal gestures or certain things that we do as a culture might not translate to other cultures. This is very important because you don't want to be offensive. You want to be culturally inclusive. We live in a global society, so it's very important to learn. So this is, again, just another skill that you need to keep observing, keep learning, keep growing from, so we can make this, a better place. But hopefully you had fun with it. Hopefully you go around your life and look at all the nonverbal communication that's constantly shoved in your face, and with time better be able to assess it more correctly, because sometimes nonverbal communication can be a little hard to assess, but with time and growth you will get there, and you'll be better for it, as well as your own nonverbal communication. I know it's really hard to record yourself, but as we get into our public speaking chapters and our presentation, hopefully you'll take some time to view yourself and kind of what you do when it comes to your face, your hands, your posture, how you're dressed, and all that stuff. But I'll table that for now. All right, moving on. Semester groups. So right now, the point of these semester groups is to get into contact with everybody, create a communication network that works for all group members and what they feel comfortable with. And then soon you'll be assigned a group project, which is our second mandatory assignment to pass this course. And then you'll complete it in those same groups. So what am I doing? I am simply making it easier for you to jumpstart that communication assignment when the time comes. So right now, you have a support system, a few classmates you can reach out to if you have any questions about assignments or things like that. But when that group assignment comes in, you can hit the ground running because you already know each other, you already have a form of communication, and you can get it done easy peasy. So that is the point of these group semesters right now and then into the future. So the very last thing we'll talk about is the quiz that you had. The class average was very high. It was around an 86. There were a few zeros for people who didn't complete it, so I think that made it a little bit lower, but that is a very high class average for a very large class. Many of you, definitely close to 1/3 of the class, got 100% on the quiz, so you should be very proud of yourself. That's always wonderful to see. If testing isn't your strong suit, you'll realize that's why I made the quizzes short. That's why I made them only worth 25 points. I don't want to put this exceeding amount of pressure on one item that can make or break your grade. It's just another way to test your knowledge more in depth from the chapters. And so I do think it's a little bit important to have these small quizzes, but no pressure if testing's not your strong suit. Hopefully you learned from this quiz 1 and it can better help you in quiz 2, which would be our final quiz in this class. So let me break down kind of how I assess and review the quiz for everybody. So once the quiz is closed, which is today, I look at the statistics and I look per question to see if there is any question that the class as a whole got more than 40% wrong. And why I do that, because maybe there's something that was miscommunicated by me, maybe there is something that just wasn't articulated clearly, therefore I want to clear it up and then maybe give a few points back. So I think it's really important if there's like an outlier there, right? But I assessed each question. There wasn't anything even close to that. All of you did very well. And there is no questions to even talk about right now. So I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Congratulations on the halfway mark. Congratulations on completing a quiz. And congratulations for just being present. So other than that, email me if you have any questions, but we will talk soon.